Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a couple of goofballs in love that love doing some reaction videos together.
We do indeed.
And so we're checking out a new game for us to check to see, Armored Core. So you've been covered some From Software games before, and Elden Ring and Bloodborne and some Dark Souls. And so Armored Core 6 trailer came out not too long ago, and so we're checking out that and plus some other trailers from the first Armored Cores. So we're Armored Core 1 through 6, all the trailers.
So we know what we're talking about. Maybe a little.
Yeah, we never know what we're talking about. All right, that's why it's definitely not definitive. Okay, because we are not experts on this at all, and we have zero knowledge. So we're just here for fun.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
I am ready.
No idea what this game is about.
Me neither.
Setting the stage. Damn, this is an old ass trailer.
Yeah. So it's a tank with hands.
Yeah.
And now legs. What are things coming out of the mouth?
Cannons. Oh! Very cool. So you get to design your own death bot. Build your own transformer.
And send it out into the world?
Yeah.
Oh, this is old. This is fun. Ooh, dark, scary hallways. It's so funny because there's a nostalgic element about these older games when at the time it was like, whoa, dude, this is so amazing. And now you look at where graphics have gone and you're like, oh, this is cute.
Yeah, how quaint. Look at the way this thing moves. It's like they made this game with the intention of, we're gonna be able to sell a shitload of toys.
Yeah. Which is so true, because back in the day, that's what everything was, right?
Yeah.
It's there was a game or a movie, and then there was the Barbie version, and the action figures, and the Lego versions, and the...
Side note, his gun was awesome. His cannon. It was cool. If I could have that shoulder cannon, I would.
Really?
Not in real life, but in the game, yeah.
I'm what would you do with something like that? Oh, he skates.
Yeah. Launched a ton of missiles. So this is player versus player, or?
Or is there a story?
Well, it looked like it was split screen, so it looked like couch co-op, maybe. Armored Core 2.
Okay, but
what it's about?
Yeah, what is the story?
It's coming up, so we got some cinematic trailers coming up.
Okay. Because the robots are cool, but I'm kind of why should I care? With Transformers, I know why I should care. There are some Autobots. And they're really cool.
The Decepticons.
And they're going to come and destroy the planet, so we have to care.
Ooh.
You drop something on a city?
Nope.
Nope.
Guess not. It's time for the robots to take control of this planet.
Maybe they can do a better job than us.
I like the gliding. It does that. You can go side to side.
Yeah.
The ball is backwards.
Yeah, I mean, they have legs to walk, but they don't really seem to walk. They seem to more...
Fly, glide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just destroy buildings and planes.
Yeah.
Okay, now I understand more.
Is he sleeping? Was it a tough battle?
Yes. God is force. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting perspective.
Are you a good robot or a bad robot?
I don't know. Music coming on. Intense. Oh, I'm gonna say bad.
Yeah. Dude, if this is the future of AI, we are all totally screwed.
I thought it was like that one song like. Do, 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 do,
Yep.
do, do,
I was hearing that too in my head.
do, do.
I'm not convinced it isn't.
Just a different like.
Part of the...
Yeah.
It might be that song in a different movement. From like the classic everybody knows
Yeah.
movement.
Oh, sweet.
That was some nice moves.
Yeah.
But again, like if they're not on our side, we're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are you gonna do against that?
I think our world is just their playground, like where they fight each other.
Then, you know, the people who die in the meantime just as
Yeah.
collateral damage.
It's just an arena for them to fight in.
I guess some could argue that's the way the Transformers are.
Yeah.
The Autobots and the Decepticons are using Earth as a battleground. The Autobots, like Bumblebee, actually care about us.
Ooh.
I don't think he's a nice one. I could be wrong.
I think they're all nice ones.
The world marches to ruin. Well, if that isn't oppression kind of saying right now.
Well, few lands that remain, the people cling to what life is left. And yet conflict remains unbound.
Super happy fun times.
Ooh. Was this like the intro?
They're making the machines.
Powered by From Software. I like that. Not developed, not created, powered by.
Which is a cool saying, but also when you look at that, you're like, what does that mean exactly? I mean, you could say a movie is powered by the producer, but it's created by the actors, the directors, and the writers.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder what that...
Like, they ditched the legs for a freaking tank.
Boom. Just over that car.
Sweet.
Run, people, run. God, they're just laying waste to that city.
Yep.
Oof. Bye, flying robot. You are officially grounded. They look like they were in suits for like a nuclear wasteland, didn't they? Like with the face things and... Damn.
Just like the early development of the weapons.
Holy hell.
Intense.
Yeah. This is looking like more story. Give me a story.
It's tough living in this world.
That I do believe.
But when you got this guy looking over your shoulder, watching your back, you feel invincible.
I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone would mess with me if I had like a tank guardian. A tank on legs. The answer. Okay.
To colossal devastation is fucking more devastation.
Eyes within you. Interesting.
Base to Link's pilot. Thanks for joining our side. You're our last hope.
Copy. You hired me for a job. I won't let you down.
Kind of feels Halo-esque.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a big gun.
New parts and weapons are now operational.
Copy that. Ready for launch.
Damn.
Yeah.
Feels like they got bigger. They're white knight,
And they've got like
shining armor.
NASA rocket engines on their back and damn.
VOB. Ignition.
Bam, bam, bam,
Yep. That's exactly what I was hearing in my head too.
The danger zone. Man, you would not pass a smog test.
No.
Spread missiles on their way.
But you know,
Spread missiles.
giant death robots probably aren't environmentally friendly to begin with.
Really? That looks environmentally friendly to me.
Continuing on to main target.
What the hell?
It breaks away like a NASA rocket.
Taking heavy fire.
And I get now why they glide with those like
Yeah.
rocket engines on the back of them.
Links come in. Respond.
Activating assault armor. Let's finish this.
That was cool. That like, teeth that came down over the lights.
Whoa. That doesn't look good.
This is end of days.
I know, right?
Yep. Yeah, it is.
Whoa.
You know what? I'll
Okay.
first wave.
Yep.
I don't need to be around for this. Just first wave is fine with me.
You're Taya Leone on the beach
Yeah.
as watching the meteor come by as the tsunami.
Sure. I like Taya Leone.
Yeah, I do too.
I'll take it.
Feed the fire. What a great line.
Okay. And after the fire, the second ice age?
Yeah.
I so hope I'm dead for that.
Let the last cinders burn. Ooh.
got a backpack. Okay, but like, what are you fighting for? The world's been destroyed 3 times over at this point.
Who gets to rule the ashes?
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm concerned with this. Just an endless battle to fight just to fight?
Nothing else to live for but to punish your enemies. Don't worry, you were out in the first place.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Fires of Rubicon.
I mean, they've got some like catchy slogans and some good
Yeah.
titles in here. I'll give them that.
We're close to Rubicon. Wake the dog up.
Handler Walter verified.
Somehow I know that they're referring to a
Activating
canine.
cerebral coral control device.
Hey, they still have bone mills in the future.
Whoa, it's a pretty sky.
Augmented human C4621 has awakened.
An augmented human.
Yeah, right?
Is a human in there? So you'd be like part of the armor.
But I mean,
Oh.
is there really a person there? Or is it an augmented human?
Oh, damn. Got some cool designs.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it whip.
Is that like a giant robot worm?
Yeah, I think so.
I think you've got like
The infamous handler Walter sounds.
chicken legs
Interesting.
in the world of robots.
You ready
Stop
to
skipping
climb
leg
the
day.
wall?
I mean, like, don't they look like chicken legs? They were like
Yeah, they
super
did.
skinny compared to the rest of the robots we've seen.
Call sign Raven.
For termination, high on the list.
Project Termination.
Control response from the generator. Watch out.
That looked like a crown, didn't it?
Yeah.
How it opened up.
I don't know what the hell that thing was he was fighting.
Let's see how far they can fly. On borrowed wings.
I mean, that sky is pretty, but I definitely believe we're all dead by the point that
Yeah.
the sky starts looking like that.
Yeah. So it felt like, all the lore and everything like that they put into all the other games, like, Bloodborne and Dark Souls and Elden Ring and all this, crazy stories that they go into. And then somebody like in From Software was like, what if there's just like robots and they have all these awesome weapons and you just fucking like are shooting each other with all these awesome weapons? And like, okay, yeah, but like, so like, what's the story? What's the lore? What's the backdrop?
Yeah.
There's robots and they have awesome fucking weapons that you get to choose and design and destroy people with. Who cares about the lore? It's like,
I do.
yeah, I know you do. But it's like, I felt like they were like, this is their game to just like have fun, destroy shit and not worry about it. Like there probably is a story. There probably is lore. We'd love to know about it down below in the comments, but I also feel like this is just a game just to blow things up and have fun and design, like, who can design the coolest robot with like the craziest little gun combinations and everything.
Yeah, I will say that this definitely felt like, at least from all that we saw so far, there's not really a story. I mean, I'm sure there is, but from what we saw, it looked like there really wasn't much of one. And what there was like probably very simplistic. Like, these are the good robots, these are the bad. Okay, go kill each other. Like, this is just, and if your desire when going into gameplay is just like, I just want to like vent out some frustration and like shoot some things or blow things up. Like, I'm really just into that. This feels perfect. I think often when I go into games, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for falling into a story and playing through a story. And then from that, like, yeah, like destroying some bad guys is really fun because you feel all like badass and heroic, but didn't necessarily understand what I was seeing with this per se from any kind of story element. In my time waiting tables, when you have really crappy customers who like will dump on you on a nightly basis and not tip well, games like that are really appealing. You go home, you take out all your frustration. I'm like, I'm just going to shoot a bunch of shit because I'm so mad right now. It's satisfying. So I'm not knocking it at all. But I think like at this stage in my life, I'm just looking for like falling into a really good story. And I didn't necessarily see that here. That being said, they had some interesting elements of script writing that were there for their marketing materials. Like the line "God is force" really stuck out to me because I was like, whoa, what does that mean? Like, yeah, people worship gods because they see them as powerful entities. And maybe if you equate power with force, but like, I don't know, power can have a positive or negative connotation. Force, primarily negative. Like, I am forcing my will on you. I'm forcing you into something. So that line just got me thinking. I'm like, what does that mean? And it made me really curious about the world because it was not a flippant line of text. It was something that was kind of puzzling in a larger kind of philosophical manner. And so I'm like, all right, well, they put some thought into their marketing materials because they came up with some catchy slogans. Yeah. So it does make me think there's more to it than we're actually seeing in these advertisements.
I just think it's awesome that like it's to like, design cool weapons and build your robot and destroy things and fuck shit up. I don't know necessarily that it's a game that appeals to me either, but at the same time, like it reminds me kind of this game that I used to like growing up. It was it's on the N64, Battle Tanks, I think it was called. It was just like just a fun game, just a fun blow them up, shoot them up kind of game. And so yeah, that's what was in my mind when I was watching this. I'm like, oh, it's kind of like Battle Tanks.
The other thing that kept coming up in my brain as I was watching this too, because humans were so much a non-entity in it, was okay. It talked about humanity marching towards its own ruin, and then you have all of these robots that are just literally wiping out the planet. I mean, just they're focused on total devastation. And it made me think of this time that we're living in right now where AI is coming up and like, okay, like there's been a lot about AI, and AI is an incredibly useful tool, but there's also been people who have come out and been like, whoa, we need to slow our roll on this. Like, we don't fully understand it, and we're starting to put it into everything without knowing what we're doing. And like, again, there have been a lot of movies warning us about this. Terminator comes to mind. Like, we should understand something before we give it full access into our various different systems of living, like banking systems and food systems and all these other kinds of areas where people are talking about what an incredible discovery AI is and how much good it can do. But for everything, there is a light and a shadow side. And so for as wonderful as the light side is, and it can be absolutely wonderful and change the workforce entirely in a great way for humanity, there's a shadow side that is just as equally dark and dangerous and potentially scary. So I don't know, just seeing robots decide that they were going to like wipe out the planet to murder each other started to make me think of that. Like, oh, I don't know, maybe this is kind of a warning.
Yeah, and when it said augmented human, I didn't know if that meant that like people were inside there, or if they put like maybe like a brain inside, like if the human mind is inside these robots now, or if it was a person. Because it made me think of like Pacific Rim when like they were like getting their robots and like control them and everything like that.
It did make me think of that as well, because it's so funny because I was recently trying to better understand this, because there's augmented reality and then there's virtual reality. And I hear those two things and I'm like, wait a second, what is the difference exactly? I don't understand. They seem both to be fictitious to me. I don't get it. And like augmented reality is when you are using the real environment and kind of like putting something fictitious over it. So like Pokemon Go was a great example of an augmented reality game that kind of like took the world by storm, which is very different than virtual reality, which is where everything is constructed in a virtual or non-real environment. So when they say augmented human, I had that same question. I'm like, well, what does that mean exactly? Like there's a real human in there, but not. There's, I don't know, like a hologram of a real human. So it's kind of real, but kind of not. I don't know. Maybe we're old timers already, but I don't quite understand the subtlety and the nuances of that.
Well, I get some questions up, like, as far as what's going on here. So even though we didn't get story really necessarily in these trailers, at least got us to, spark your discussion and it got us to ask some questions.
Yeah. I mean, because they showed some real intelligence behind the creation of this. And they did a very, very good job hinting at that in their marketing materials, even though they didn't fully show it. So to me, I'm like, that is attractive and that is intriguing to see, when normally I think a game that's just constructed on build bigger guns and kill each other probably isn't necessarily my jive. But in this instance, to have a little bit more of that intelligence layered into the marketing, I'm like, all right, they put some thought behind this. So even if it's not what they're using to sell it, it might actually be what appeals to me ultimately. You'll let us know
what you thought about this down below in the comments. Like we said, if there's a story about this and there's just other stuff we should check out, maybe to learn more about that, let us know down below in the comments. And you can always link, if you can't link the actual video, because sometimes YouTube deletes those comments, just put the title of it and then that'll help out. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Armored Core. A bunch of Armored Core trailers, 1 through 6, but we'll just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.